GMO food, and she knows the word GMO and everything. I mean, it's amazing how much they know nowadays. But I think we should definitely be very, very, very careful. I'm all for science and for getting ahead, but let's just think about, you know, how important actually it is for us to go back to, you know, the stuff that the way we used to eat, which was, you know, pull it off the tree, and we still pull the mangoes off the trees and stuff, but there's just so much out there that we need to protect people from, and certainly our kids. With regards to agriculture, let me just say real quick, I actually, when I was growing up in Colombia, we had a farm, and I remember what it was like being a very young kid and losing the crop because there was too much rain and there was rice. And my parents saying, wondering if they were going to lose the farm. So I know that our agriculture here is a very important area, and my time is up.
Number two, where's the question asker? Number two, in terms of generation of capital, we are the #1 winter. Guys, spread out there so I can see. So we're number one winter crop producer in the country. We are the dominant player in tropical fruits and vegetables across the country, and it is, believe it or not, the most productive acre of agriculture in all of the state of Florida is here in Dade County. People don't know that. I'm a big believer that we have to preserve that, and we've got to keep that. But that means, for example, when I was in Congress, the Farm Bureau awarded me the Member of the Year precisely because I took one of the issues that you talked about is crop insurance. How do we make sure our farmers stay alive? Because if they lose a crop, they lose the farm. And so we created expanded crop insurance for the people that were there. But I'm a big believer that how we treat agriculture is key, and all great cities need to have an agricultural district. I'm a big believer that we've got to get more money into Dade County. You know, part of when you buy property, there's an additional monies that go to separate and permanently put land in agricultural trust. I'm a big believer in that. Is that it? There was another?
Well, I know these are obscure questions, but they're important to me. Sugar price supports, your position, and genetically engineered food labeling.
I'm a big believer that GMO mentioning should be there, and then we have to look at price supports in relation to the rest of the world. Because what you need to do is make sure that you're competing fairly. What we can't do, it's easy to sort of say, I'm going to target you, but you need to have, it needs to be fair so that you don't lose productivity. But I am a big believer that we have to buy most of that agricultural land to get to Florida.
My name is Nancy Roller. The Pine Rockers of America only found itself, the Pine Rockers of America only found itself Florida with dozens of rare and endangered species that aren't found anywhere else in the country. What is your position regarding protecting and restoring the last 2% of the Pine Rockers in South Florida?
Which is where Walmart was.
I agree. And when I was there, we had meetings in our office to make a difference and to try to move the position, and I'm a believer we should keep those. If you look at a satellite picture of West Dade County, if you look across it, what it was 25 years ago and what it was today, and the fact that this very unique piece of property, there's very little left, we have to preserve it.
I'm not going to disagree that we need to protect it, absolutely. It should be done.
I have a very simple question. Very rarely do we have issues that come up in the Kendall community where we need help from our congressmen. We have a specific issue taking place now in Kendall Lakes. About 15 years ago, the Mississippi Tribe of Indians purchased the Kendall Lakes Golf and Country Club, which is now the Mississippi Golf and Country Club. The land has a covenant that will keep it as a golf course. The tribe has made an application to the Bureau
for us to be a golf course.
The only question is, hold the public hearing.
And I'm all for holding a public hearing, right? I want to put a caveat to that, because I think it's important to understand that when you say it should be done across, the Bureau of Land Management does tens of thousands of these things, and it would be impractical, but I have no problem in requiring them to do it if they do approve on this.
Ditto.
Thank you very much.
Last question, and we got to go on. We hold the duties of being probably one of the worst places in the country for Medicare and Medicaid fraud.
I've already asked the question, so you go ahead.
Try to plug up that corruption, I guess, you take within the medical industry.
It's very frustrating and very true, and part of the issue has been that we have not allocated enough funding to the investigators, and this has been going on for years. I remember talking about this in 2008 when I ran for Congress. We need more people investigating this, because honestly, it still comes out. I mean, it's like we need to spend that money to investigate so that we can catch the bad people and maybe send them to jail and punish them for doing that, because they're taking money away from, Medicare and Medicaid by stealing it. I mean, it is a huge problem, and to me, it's a no-brainer.
Look, I think that any business would not allow this degree of corruption or loss that exists, right, and the incorrect building that goes on. And I don't know if you know this, but one of the systems that they use to catch us is private firms that then get a percentage of what they found that's been stolen. Look, we've got to figure out, no hospital would work under this concept. But let me give you a plus side of it. Right? As much as we have to fix Medicare, Medicaid, and make it work, here's what we know. We're spending 20% of our gross national product on healthcare. Our nearest competitor is at 12%. So we're spending almost 50% more in getting results that are not there. And so we not only have to fix Medicare and make sure that people don't rip us off like they do, right? We're number one in the country here. But we also have to make sure we fix Obamacare. Because I have Obamacare. And trust me, it's not perfect. And what we need to do is make sure that it works. But what I do know is today, 9 million Americans have health care that didn't have it before.
You both be willing to make a joke, asking people that have questions.
Absolutely.
We have to move on.
I'm just scared that your mayor may get upset at